Do you guys have any burning questions on your heart? Or a topic, I should say, that you want to talk about?
I do have a question,
Okay?
and it's I actually have it down.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people that serve in ministry. You know, we do a lot. We want to do a lot for God, but I want to know, like, what is it like loving God without using them as a distraction, even while serving?
What is it like loving God
Yeah,
with,
loving God without using them as a distraction.
while serving?
Yes.
Give me an example of someone who proclaimed they love God but use them as a distraction while they're serving. Give me an
Let's take
example.
for an example a married woman with kids who has a lot of problems at home, and their only escape is to serve in the house of God,
Oh, that's
just
so
to get
good.
away from what they feel at home.
That is so good. That happens in a lot of homes. It does. Where a woman of God will escape the home and she will throw herself into ushering, the cooking department, the cleaning the church team, the missionary.
Every day you come to church, they're there Monday through Friday.
And they are faithful, but they're trying to escape the responsibility of being a wife and a mom at home. Okay? And you have people in the world who does this as well. It's called chasing your dreams. And you expect your spouse to understand you're not home because what? You're chasing your dreams. Or, quote unquote, we're building. God called us to have a balanced life. And the way you know you're having a balanced life, you check with the people that God connected you with. Check with your pastor. How am I doing as a member? Check with your husband. Babe, how am I as a wife? Check with your boss and really take in their feedback. You will know if you have a balanced life. For example, if your boss say you can work on coming to work earlier, that means you're not balanced because you have a punctual problem. And I promise you, it's not just at work. Your pastor is going to say the same thing. He's going to echo what your boss said. Your husband's going to echo what the pastor and the boss said. Because guess what? Everybody feels it. Your boss feels you when you come to work late. Your husband feels it when he has to wait on you and now he's late, right? So you feel it at work, you feel it at home, and also church. Because especially if you don't serve, nobody really notices but God that you're late. But if you serve and you're late, the department feels it. Because some people, when they're in ministry, no one can do what you do. That is the part of ministry. My left hand can't do what my right hand do. My feet can't do what my hands do, right? My brain cannot do what my lips can. Like, so we have many different members. And so what do we tell those people? If you find yourself being that way, you have tuned out the voice of God in your life. And I pause so you can really sit and reflect. You're what they call a busybody. And sometimes you missed it because another positive attribute that people can label you as is a go-getter. When people are labeling you as these things, you have to sit down and go, right? And sometimes, when you're too busy is not a bad thing because God may call you into a season where you have to really focus on building what he called you to build.
Not to cut you short, but does God accept that as a service if you're using him as a distraction because you want to get away, but maybe church is that one place that, does it for you. You're doing it, everybody's seen it, it's good, but is it acceptable unto the Lord?
I would say it depends on the heart. Because a woman at home who busy herself in the things of God, what is she escaping from home? Is she escaping abuse? Then the Lord will bless her, right? She has not yet found the strength to leave a marriage that has abuse in it. So she busy herself with the things of God to not get beat on, okay? Or if it's a woman who realized, I'm not good as a mom, I'm not good as a wife, so I'm going to escape my responsibilities and come to church and busy my life with things, then the Lord is not pleased with that. Yes, the Lord is not pleased with that. And technically, you should be rebuked Because the Bible said you should not serve in the house of the Lord if your house is a mess. And so pastors have to do the job when they go to counseling and they reveal what's going on in a home. If nothing changes, then you ought to be sat down. Because believe it or not, it bleeds over in the house of God. And so the one requirement from God is your house must be in order before you become eligible to lead in his house. Because if your house is a mess, then you're going to bring that into the house of the Lord, and it's going to become his house. You ever seen a messy person go into a clean house and keep it clean? And that's the phenomenon. It just won't work. So what do you become? Messy. You become messy in the house of God. And so most people miss it, and they get offended. They get offended. And I pray that I do know people like that. I do. And they're never planted in one church. They're all over.
Yes.
I'm going into your next point.
Sorry. Yes. So let's talk about singles, serving the Lord and maybe using them as a distraction, because deep down they don't want to be cut out there, but then they don't know how to keep themselves. So they're like, okay, if I just come here and, pass time for the day to see the next day and another day, as that service unto the Lord, are they like, just buying time, or actually serving the Lord, like without using them as a distraction while being single?
It just depends. And I think I'm going to let you guys talk, because the reality is, if I know that I can't keep my legs closed, but if I go to church, I will, then I'm going to use the Lord. I'm going to come to church to keep my legs closed. And so, Pastor, when's the next service? You're not going to cancel Bible study, right? Because, and I'm going to ask all the questions. Pastor, when church is closed, where can we go? Like,
And that's a real thing.
that's a real thing. I'm telling you, Pastor, do we have any sister churches that whenever church is closed, Pastor, are you the type of pastor that closed for every weather? Like, 'cause I got a car and I can drive. That's a real thing, because when I was learning to not fornicate and church was closed and it was me and my four walls in my house by myself, and I ain't had no friends, and Tyrone would text, why Pastor closed this service? Talking about announcement, Bible study. There'll be no Bible study tonight with no explanation. Now I'm in my house being tempted. You could call Tyrone. He is off today. He be off on Wednesdays. So if you use the Lord to stay saved, he honors that. But if you use the Lord, I believe to you guys take, to pretend, because people do that, busy in the house of the Lord just to pretend to look like a man or woman of God, but deep down, God knows he doesn't receive you. He said, I hate pretenders. And only God can hate and be justified. Yeah. You only got me because you pretended to love God. And now that I realize you a pretender, now I have to take accountability, because